Hare Krishna, Akshita. You're the only one. Okay, let's start with chanting. Others will join in. Okay. Okay, Datvik also has come. All right, let's start. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Right. So far, only two of them. Nobody else has joined. Okay. All right. So today we're actually going to watch a video. Okay. There's no class, so you don't talk, I don't talk. We only will watch a video. All right. Can you hear me? You can hear me, right? Okay. I'll play the video. Let me know if you can hear the video. Okay. Watch the video. If you have any questions, last 5 minutes, we will discuss on that. Okay.
His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The movement he started is now known to millions around
Can you hear the video playing? Okay.
the world. Yet he himself remained in the background. Without personal ambition, he worked humbly to spread Krishna consciousness, devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yet his achievements and personal character did not go unnoticed. The world's leading scholars and religionists praised his unique contribution, and thousands grew to love him as their dearmost friend and well-wisher. In his memory, his disciples erected a stunning memorial in the hills of West Virginia, now visited by 500,000 people a year. In this and many other ways around the world, Srila Prabhupada is offered expressions of love by those whose lives he most deeply touched.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama.
Always remember Krishna, God, and never forget him. This was the goal of the rich spiritual culture that flourished in India for thousands of years. Even today, Lord Krishna is remembered and glorified through monumental achievements in architecture, art, drama, music, dance, and philosophy.
मेरे पास ट्रेडिंग इंडस्ट्री में 10 साल से ज्यादा का एक्सपीरियंस है और मैंने सब कुछ ट्राई करा, कैंडल स्टिक्स, चार्ट पैटर्न्स।
Calcutta, 1896, the capital of India, the crown jewel of the British Empire, an elegant city of wide avenues and spacious parks. It is here that Aboy Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami is born. A pure devotee of Krishna from birth, Aboy Charan is raised in a well-to-do mercantile family. From infancy, he goes with his father to the Radha Krishna temple, and at age 4, the child spontaneously begins worshipping similar deities in his home. When Aboy Charan hears of Ratha Yatra, a traditional festival in honor of Lord Krishna, it further inspires his natural devotion. With his father's help, every year he holds his own small celebration, drawing the neighborhood children into the festivities. At age 8, Aboy Charan enters the nearby Mati Lal Seal School. After graduation, he attends Scottish Churches College, one of the most respected in Calcutta. At the time, Mahatma Gandhi is organizing his countrymen in a nationwide boycott of everything British. Gandhiism is surging through India, uniting her in a massive non-cooperation movement. Sensitive to British subjugation of India's culture and people, Aboy Charan becomes an early supporter of Gandhi's movement. But 1922 marks a turning point in Aboy Charan's life. He meets Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami, the greatest devotee of Krishna of his time. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta belongs to the disciplic succession of spiritual masters extending back to Lord Krishna himself. He convinces Aboy Charan that Krishna's spiritual message transcends India's dependent position. Nothing is more important. He requests Aboy Charan to spread Krishna consciousness in the Western world. Aboy Charan hears and is deeply impressed. By this time, Aboy Charan has a growing family. He moves to Allahabad and starts a successful pharmacy. All the while, his spiritual master's words remain implanted in his heart. In 1933, he becomes a disciple of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, who comments, "He will do everything in due time." 3 years later, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta leaves this world, after again requesting Aboy Charan to preach in English. Aboy Charan takes his words to heart and starts writing prodigiously. In 1944, he single-handedly begins publishing and distributing Back to Godhead, a fortnightly. The first issue addresses the crisis of war. The Second World War within 20 years is scourging the earth. Back to Godhead points out that people throughout the world want an end to war. But so often they want God's kingdom without God, and they cannot have it. All our plans will be doomed to failure by our own selfishness unless we turn to God. After the war, Aboy Charan moves to Jhansi and founds the League of Devotees. He prepares a charter for an international organization, its members dedicated to a peaceful, God-centered life. Acharya Prabhakar, his first disciple, remembers.
शिक्षा लेने के लिए, दीक्षा लेने के लिए उन्होंने प्रश्न किया.
He was always teaching Krishna consciousness, and people came to him for knowledge. After hearing from him, many wanted to become his disciple. He told them, "I can make you my disciple, but first you please chant the names of God and give up cigarettes, meat-eating, illicit sex, and gambling." But few people would agree to give up these habits. Then he said, "Indians are imitating the Westerners. I will make disciples in the West. Then when the Indian people see Westerners following religious principles, they will also follow." Following tradition, at age 58, Aboy Charan retires from family life, and 5 years later accepts the renounced order. He is now known as A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. He lives alone in the historic medieval temple of Radha Damodar in Vrindavan, engaged in deep studies and writing. It was in Vrindavan that Lord Krishna revealed his pastimes 50 centuries ago, and saintly persons throughout the ages have worshipped this land as the most sacred on earth. Unlike other holy men who live there, Bhaktivedanta Swami is not thinking of retiring. For him, Vrindavan is a source of inspiration, an ideal place to chant, worship, and write. Here he begins work on his life's masterpiece, translation and commentary on the monumental devotional classic Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhaktivedanta Swami calls it a cultural presentation for the re-spiritualization of the entire human society.
What will I learn for 9 rupees?
Number one thing that you're going to get at 9 rupees is you're going to be a certified AI tools and AI agents expert, because you'll be able to automate 95% of your work.
But often he leaves Vrindavan to print his magazine and books in nearby Delhi. Traveling takes time and tolerance, but Bhaktivedanta Swami accepts it as part of his spiritual mission to broadcast devotional service to Lord Krishna. He writes, "Our leaders have carefully set aside the treasure house of India's spiritual asset, and they are imitating the Western material way of life. But people are more unhappy than ever before because of the exclusion of the most important part of life, the spiritual aspect." In Delhi, Bhaktivedanta Swami personally distributes copies of Back to Godhead, and with small donations, struggles to maintain the publication. He regularly sees Surendra Kumar Jain, a printer.
It was somewhere in the month of February 1956 that I first met Prabhupada. He came to my press for getting the magazine printed, Back to Godhead. I found that it was not very easy for him to collect money. He would come to the press practically every day, and after the printing was done, he would do everything himself. But he was a dedicated person, a very committed person. And at the times when he was not in a position to pay the bills, I would ask him, "Why are you running this? Why don't you stop it?" He would say, "No, it is my mission. And one day, Surendra Kumar, you will see that I will succeed in my mission."
By 1964, Bhaktivedanta Swami completes 3 volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam. Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri lauds his accomplishment and recommends his books for placement in India's public libraries. Sumati Morarji, chairman of the Scindia Steamship Company, gives contributions for printing Bhaktivedanta Swami's books and arranges for his passage to America.
And he used to come every evening. And one day he said that he would like to go to America. I was surprised. I said, "Swamiji, don't go there. You are too old to go, and it will be too cold for you." Still he insisted. So I said, "All right." So I made arrangement for him to go by Jaladuta. On way, while he was passing through Suez, that day was Lord Krishna's birthday, and he gathered all the people on board the ship, all the crew members, officers, and recited some shloka, and then some prasad was distributed to them and all that.
Bhaktivedanta Swami, a lone mendicant, 70 years old, traveling halfway across the world. His only resources, the message he carries and his unflinching faith. The voyage on the Jaladuta proves a great trial. Bhaktivedanta Swami endures seasickness and then suffers severe chest pains. In 2 days, he has 2 heart attacks. If another comes, he thinks he will surely not survive. But gradually, he recovers. He writes, "I feel today better, but I am feeling separation from Vrindavan. I have no qualification, but I have taken up the risk just to carry out the order of my spiritual master." September 17th, 1965, the Jaladuta arrives in Boston Harbor. On board, Bhaktivedanta Swami writes, "My dear Lord Krishna, you are so kind upon this useless soul, but I do not know why you have brought me here. Most of the population here is absorbed in material life. How will I make them understand your message? I can simply repeat your words, and if you like, you can make my power of speaking suitable for their understanding." I have no devotion, nor do I have any knowledge, but I have strong faith in the holy name of Krishna. I have been designated as Bhaktivedanta, devotion with knowledge. And now, if you like, you can fulfill the real purport of Bhaktivedanta. Signed, the most unfortunate, insignificant beggar, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Bhaktivedanta Swami first stays in Butler, Pennsylvania, in the home of a friend's son, Gopal Agarwal, and his wife Sally.
The Swami was a friend of my husband's father, Mr. Agarwal, in Agra, India. And he asked me to sponsor the Swami, and that's what I did. And that's why he came to our house in the middle of the night one night. He stayed with us for a month in Butler. And I learned, over the time, I learned to love him as I would a father-in-law. He was a very sensitive and kindly type of person. He was indeed one of the most unusual men I've ever known in my life. The Swami came with so few possessions. He came with the clothes he had on his back. He had a typewriter, and he had his books. And he had a bag of cereal. Imagine coming to a country on the other side of the world with so little, and yet he came with so much in himself. The Swami brought a pan with him in which he cooked his food, and in fact cooked our lunch too. Our little boy was only 6 months old when he came, and the Swami was there when Bridge first stood, and he laughed and laughed to see him stand up. When he laughed, he was just oceanic. He just seemed to take in the entire universe when he laughed, and he laughed a lot. I enjoyed my association for that 1 month with him about as much as I've enjoyed anything in my life.
Although comfortable in Butler, Bhaktivedanta Swami thought the most important philosophy in the world, Krishna consciousness, should be spread in one of the most important cities in the world, New York. He moves to 100 West 72nd Street. 3 months later, his typewriter and tape recorder for translating are stolen. Bhaktivedanta Swami later said, "I came to America risking my life. I was physically unfit and at the fag end of my days. Sometimes I did not know where to live, nor was I used to the severe cold. Seemingly I was alone for 1 year, but I never felt alone. I always felt the presence of my spiritual master, so I did not lose my enthusiasm, despite all difficulties."
डिजिटल बिजनेस स्टार्ट करना है, लेकिन यूट्यूब, इंस्टाग्राम, अलग अलग एडवाइस लेने के बाद भी
Bhaktivedanta Swami arrived in America during a decade of discontent. There's widespread dissatisfaction with America's war in Vietnam and with what some consider her racist, exploitative dealings at home and abroad. Disillusioned by the establishment, the youth create a counterculture of their own. Around the time Bhaktivedanta Swami came, waves of Americans are breaking away from the status quo, searching for an alternative. For a short time, Bhaktivedanta Swami lives in the Bowery in a loft given by a friend. Mukunda Goswami, who was attending his classes at this time, tells of their first meeting.
He wore very thick glasses and had a big Sanskrit book spread out before him. His voice was very deep and resonant. He spoke with great authority, and the Sanskrit shlokas he spoke were very beautiful, very melodious. He was obviously a very distinguished scholar, and I became very curious, almost astonished as to how someone of his stature, he looked very much like an aristocrat, could be living and residing in the Bowery, the Skid Row of New York. And afterwards, I approached him to speak. I was standing, and he was sitting on his small dais, so he was looking up at me, and he had the look of a very happy, innocent young child. And I could see that he actually had all the time in the world for me. He wasn't short of time. I asked questions, he would answer. Then after some time, he moved to a somewhat better neighborhood on 2nd Avenue. We helped him rent a small storefront there, and he had an apartment in the back. And within a few weeks' time, this little storefront on 2nd Avenue, on the Lower East Side of New York, which was then populated by thousands of young hippies, had been transformed into a beautiful Krishna temple. Allen Ginsberg, I remember, began to come at that time.
When he moved down the Lower East Side, I thought that was a stroke of brilliant social judgment, because traditionally Swami's, yogis, Zen masters all moved uptown to the rich. and were sponsored and funded by the rich, and you would find Krishnamurti living in elegant apartments on the Upper East Side, with drawing rooms and French furniture, and here was Bhaktivedanta like in the depths of Calcutta, where the hippies were, and where the acid heads were, and the freaks and the amphetamine heads and the meth monsters. So it seemed like he was actually bringing some kind of ray of song and light to the right place, the lower depths where it was needed. And where, of course, the glory side was the intellectual center in certain respects, in art and in advanced spiritual vibrations, particularly in the 60s. So it seemed historically just move on his part.
Celebration at Tompkins Square Park, which was last Thursday, or Thursday before last. And I knew I had been seeking a guru for a while. So Krishna sent me there, and I was there. And after meeting some of the initiates, I knew that the Swami really had to be into something.
I came here in America in September 1965. I was wandering in the street, and some of the boys saw me, and gradually they came to me. My mission is to preach the philosophy of Lord Chaitanya, chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This transcendental vibration will cleanse the dirty things of the mind. It doesn't matter what he is. This transcendental vibration is equally appealing to everyone without any question of language, nationality, creed, or caste, because it is coming forth from the depth of the soul.
Krishna was all along preparing something, Bhaktivedanta Swami later wrote, and he brought you to me one by one, sincere boys and girls, to be trained in Krishna consciousness. Now I can see that it is a miracle. Otherwise, one old man with only a few books to sell for barely getting food, how could he survive, what to speak of introducing a God-conscious movement in a materialistic society? For Bhaktivedanta Swami, these are happy days. Singing and speaking with the vigor of a young man, he brings the Hare Krishna movement into the public eye, by chanting in the parks, by distributing Back to Godhead magazine, by holding free Sunday love feasts. Many are attracted. His hopes for the future expand without limit. The Hare Krishna movement has taken root.
वास्तु को 3 दिन में सीखना है क्या? सिर्फ 3 दिन चाहिए मुझे, कुछ नहीं चाहिए सर. 2 घंटे 3 दिन दे दो, 6 घंटा.
Sometime in the spring of 1967, people handed me clippings from New York newspapers saying that there was a Swami in New York City. So I went to New York to look up this person and his movement. My first contact was with disciples apart from Bhaktivedanta Swami, and I was frankly somewhat disappointed by the disciples. They seemed to be not very informed about what they were doing. They were unclear about the whole thing, and yet they were terribly serious and terribly devoted to what they were about. And I couldn't put those two pieces together. You know, their confusion and uncertainty on the one hand, and their commitment on the other, until I met Bhaktivedanta Swami. And as soon as I met him, which was after several visits to the temple, I realized that this was the person who really made the whole thing go. But the impressive thing about that was he was never himself in the center. He never said, you should do this because of me. He always said, you should do this, and I should do this because of Krishna. When he gave them instructions to do what they thought were impossible things, like he told one of the early disciples, go start a magazine. The guy had never had any contact with a magazine before in his life except to read one. And he said, how am I to do that? And Bhaktivedanta Swami said, Krishna will help you. He was just astonishing in terms of the personal impact that he had on people, the way that he was able to give them confidence in themselves, but more importantly, give them confidence that there was a guide who was leading them and would give them the strength that they needed.
Bhaktivedanta Swami does not belong to New York. He belongs to Krishna. So when a few of his followers invite him to San Francisco, he goes and introduces the freewheeling youth to Krishna, his ancient culture, his spiritual food, his eternal chant, the way to stay high forever. In the heart of the hippie movement, Haight-Ashbury, Golden Gate Park, and in the hearts of the hippies, the Hare Krishna mantra resounds with unimagined potency. As in New York, Bhaktivedanta Swami gathers sincere followers. The Hare Krishna movement begins to grow. Bhaktivedanta Swami becomes respectfully known as Prabhupada, meaning one at whose feet the masters sit. From Montreal, Prabhupada sends 6 disciples to open a temple in London. Yamuna Devi Dasi remembers.
So we went to London that fall, and although we had no permanent place of residence and we were completely dependent on Krishna, somehow or another, by the enthusiasm that Srila Prabhupada had given us in Montreal, we were able to make contact with George Harrison, who was a member of the Beatles at the time. And he was such a pleasant person to be with. He so much appreciated the Hare Krishna mantra that he immediately said, let's make a 45 record. So we'd cut a record, and he was very pleased with it, did a little background music on it, and it was released, and Apple organized tours for us. We went to Germany and France and had television coverage. And in this way, the London Times wanted to do, the Sunday Times wanted to do a feature on us, and we were able to send the report back to Srila Prabhupada with the headlines, Krishna Consciousness Startles London.
As people come to him, convinced of the Krishna conscious philosophy, Srila Prabhupada accepts them for initiation, not on the basis of birth, as in the rigid Hindu caste system, but on the basis of qualification and sincerity. In the whole history of Indian spiritual life, no one has ever attempted something as bold and seemingly impossible, to transform Westerners into full-fledged devotees of Lord Krishna. But by his intense spiritual energy and compassion, Srila Prabhupada is successful beyond his own expectations.
How old is the movement?
Well, from historical point of view, it is about 5,000 years old.
why has it just begun to really catch on in the Western world? I mean, just recently, in recent years, has it begun to sweep the Western world? Why is this?
The Western world, the younger generation were being frustrated the hippie movement. So when they saw something tangible, they accepted it.
What things would, if everyone in the United States believed in Krishna to the extent that you do, what would happen to this country? How would it be transformed?
They'll be very happy and peaceful. There will be no more hippies.
What would you describe as a hippie? Someone who smokes.
You know better than me. Something extraordinary.
The thing that really inspired me the most about Srila Prabhupada was his complete dedication to his devotees. The thing that Prabhupada liked the best was to be with his disciples. It wasn't that he took on large amounts of disciples and then sat back and then just pushed them to do this and that and the other for himself. He did more for us than we ever did for him. And traveling with him personally, I got to see what a tremendous sacrifice he made for us. But even when he was ill, he would still preach. He would still be concerned. He would still be asking after how things were going in the society that he created, how were individual disciples doing. He always had time also to look to our personal needs. He was very concerned. Prabhupada wasn't aloof. All he really wanted was us to reciprocate the love that he gave to us. And if we reciprocated, he would give us more. So my personal experience with Srila Prabhupada was that I found in him a person that I could actually genuinely, fully give myself to.
Have you used Claude? Around 98% of people out there are not able to use Claude to its fullest extent because Claude has many features like.
In Srila Prabhupada's eyes, Krishna consciousness is not an armchair philosophy or a part-time religion. It is a way of life, a transcendental culture that can end man's political, economic, and social problems. To realize his vision, Srila Prabhupada circles the globe 14 times in 12 years, inspiring his followers and discussing Krishna consciousness with all interested persons. His door is open to everyone.
Actually, nothing is private property. Everything belongs to God. Rather, we have stolen God's property and claiming my property. Then in Australia, the Englishman came here, but he left the property of the Englishman. It was there. America, it was there. And when everything will be finished, it will be there. In the middle we come and claim it is my property and fight.
To revive the Krishna-conscious tradition in its full richness, Prabhupada envisions God-centered, self-sufficient farm communities based on the principle of plain living and high thinking. The first such community begins on 133 acres in the hills of West Virginia. Prabhupada calls it New Vrindavan, after Krishna's place of pastimes in India. In 1972, Srila Prabhupada begins a Krishna-conscious primary school system in Dallas, Texas.
Srila Prabhupada very practically introduced a primary school system to teach children self-realization along with regular studies. This means that the Gurukul system is unique in that the educators are themselves free of vices. We could hardly find an institution where the faculty members are free of loose sexual relationships, intoxication, smoking, although they may have good credentials academically. That would be rare to find. But in Krishna consciousness, the teacher must also be on a platform of pure devotional service, because the children are very impressionable and they'll learn whatever their educators are actually doing, not just what they're saying. So these were some of the principles that Srila Prabhupada introduced in Gurukula.
Srila Prabhupada gradually trains his disciples in the time-honored tradition of deity worship to help them advance spiritually. He explains, I have introduced this system of deity worship among the non-believers, the atheists. Krishna cannot be understood with our present senses, but by his kindness he agrees to personally appear as the deity to accept our service. When we are attracted to the beautiful form of the deity, we will forget our attraction for material things. And as we serve the deity, we will develop pure love of God. Then our lives will be successful. In Melbourne, Australia, Srila Prabhupada worships Lord Chaitanya, a divine incarnation of Krishna.
By Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, we have installed the deity here in your country. You are very fortunate that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to your country to teach you how you become free of all anxieties. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. Everyone is full of anxiety, but everyone can be free from all the anxieties if he follows the path chalked out by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. As people are followed in this age, the method also has been offered very simply. They have been recommended simply to chant the holy name of God. That's all.
For 5 years after first arriving in America, Srila Prabhupada presents Krishna consciousness primarily to Westerners, from housewives to hippies to heads of state. Then, in November 1971, after a world tour, he returns to Delhi with some of his followers. The mayor receives him with the fanfare that greets a homecoming patriot. Prabhupada quotes Lord Chaitanya. It is the duty of those born in India to benefit others by spreading Krishna consciousness. This is India's greatest glory, her unique gift to the world. 30,000 Indians gather nightly at the Delhi fairgrounds to see the Western devotees and hear Prabhupada speak.
To bring about this change in India, that the revival of Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada's plan was to bring his dancing white elephants. He told us that when I bring my Western disciples to India, they will all come to see my dancing white elephants, he said. So we were actually very fond of being Prabhupada's dancing white elephants. We took that as the special mercy of Prabhupada on us, that we could be his dancing white elephants and help him in any way we could to preach Krishna consciousness in India. Prabhupada was told by an astrologer in Navadip in West Bengal that when he saw Prabhupada's face, a photo of Prabhupada, he said, this man, he has the ability to make a house in which the whole world can live peacefully. To make a house in which the whole world can live very peacefully. And when I told Prabhupada that, he said, yes, that is my mission, that within Krishna consciousness, the whole world can live peacefully.
While the Hare Krishna movement spreads worldwide, Srila Prabhupada wants to nurture its roots in India. He journeys to Mayapur, West Bengal, the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya. It was Lord Chaitanya who inaugurated, 500 years ago, the congregational chanting of God's holy names. In Mayapur, devotees purchase a small tract of land and start constructing an international guest house. For a handful of devotees who know nothing about construction, this is not an easy task. Srila Prabhupada directs and encourages them. For ourselves, he says, we are happy and satisfied living in a grass hut. But if we simply have a hut, who will come here? The more we develop our land, the more people will be attracted. Prabhupada plans to build a temple of understanding to house the world's largest planetarium, and around it, a spiritual city with schools, shops, farms, and many temples for worshipping Lord Krishna. Within the hearts of India's people is a natural respect for the eternal Krishna-conscious culture. Many come forward to take part in Srila Prabhupada's movement and accept initiation from him. No one should go hungry within a 10-mile radius of the temple, Prabhupada instructs. In March 1972, devotees start the ISKCON Food Relief Program, distributing prasad, vegetarian food offered to Lord Krishna.
Your company can replace you in the next 15 days. Can you replace your job in the next 15 days?
As the Mayapur project
All of you were watching a movie, or what were you doing? Yes? So, what was the movie about? Who was the movie about? Unmute yourself. Can you do it? No? Okay, let me try.
Ma'am, Srila Prabhupada.
Yes, the movie was about him. And what is his full name? A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, right? What is the meaning of A.C.? Did you hear that? Did anyone hear what is the meaning of A.C.? What is the full form of A.C.? Abhay Charan. Yeah, so that was his full name. So, Abhay Charan is A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. That's his full name. Yeah, so it is about his journey, how he went from India, he went to the US, he went all over the world building so many temples, and then he came back to India, and India also they constructed many temples. So it was the whole journey about him. Does anyone have any doubts when you watch the movie? Did you think you did not understand something, or you want to ask something? Is there something like that that you want to talk about? Have you watched this movie before? Yes, Tatvik.
Ma'am, this question is about Tilka Dharna.
Huh? Yes.
Ma'am, this question is just. Ma'am, we keep the Krishna's pada in our face, but Krishna is also have the same tilaka. What does this mean? What Krishna tilaka means? What indicates?
Krishna is saying, see, even though I am the Supreme Lord, still I've come to the earth as a human being. I've taken a birth here like a human being, just like you, right? So if I can wear tilak in the form of a human being, why can't you do it? What happens at home? The children imitate the parents, right? So what happens at that time when the parents are sitting with the phone? The children want to sit with the phone. If the parents are doing some work, then the children want to do some work. So similarly, Krishna thought, if I set the correct principles, then the people will follow me. So that's why he's also wearing the tilak to say, follow. Everyone has to follow. Like he would touch the elders' feet, so he had to show the respect, right? Though he was the Lord, he showed respect for his elders. Though in this material world, he showed how to respect. So that's why he was also wearing tilak, and he encouraged everyone also to do that, right? Okay. So regarding this movie, any other questions? Yes. So did you see how he went? Where did he go? He went to Boston, right? And he went by a ship. Does anyone remember what's the name of the ship? Yes. Did anyone watch what's the name of the ship? Jaladuta. Yes. Jaladuta was the name of the ship. So he went in that ship and he got 2 heart attacks on the way when he was in the ship. Still, he reached Boston. From there, he went to so many places. Initially, had no food, no place to live, nothing at all. Slowly, one by one, things picked up. And it took him so many years, after which he built so many temples with the help of so many people in India and all around the world. Right? Yes, Tatvik.
Ma'am, he got two heart attacks. One on one day, another on in another day.
Yes. Still, he did not lose hope, he did not lose heart, and he made sure he keeps his journey going and he went on. And when he reached there, what happened? What happened? There was a poem that he had written in Bengali saying that you brought me here. I don't know what you want me to do here because all these people are busy in the materialistic world. Still, now since you brought me here, maybe there's something that you want me to do here, so I've come here. So make me do whatever you think is right, whatever I'm capable of. Yeah. So that's how he depended on Krishna to give him a place to live, for food to eat, for everything he had to depend on Krishna because he did not have anything there. He did not know anybody over there. Right. So that's how he started his journey from there. And he was so old when he went there, 70 years. Right. So even at that age, he did not lose hope at all. He kept chanting. He kept chanting. Anybody brought any problem? He would say, keep chanting Hare Krishna. Krishna will see what to do with it. Because we are not capable of it, right? Mayan has a question. Why is the tick mark there? Do you want to ask something, Mayan? Yes, Dhatvik.
Ma'am, did Srila Prabhupada got married?
Yes, initially he was married. He was into a pharmacy business. He had children, but nobody in his family supported whatever he wanted to do his mission. So that's what his Guru Maharaj had told him. Why don't you go to the Western countries and preach? Because what happens? We wear jeans, we wear t-shirt, we go for parties, we try to imitate the Western countries, right? So that's why his Guru Maharaj said, go to the Western countries and preach there. So looking at them, maybe India will also learn. Yeah, so that's why Prabhupada went to the Western countries to preach. Okay, that is nice. So you'll remember AC means Abhay Charan. Which ship did he go by? Which ship did he go by? What was the name of the ship? Jaladuta. Yes, Jaladuta. He went to Boston. He had two heart attacks, and after he reached Boston, he had no place to live. But then so many people joined him on the way, and then he built so many temples also with the help of so many of his devotees.
Ma'am, how
Yes,
other
that's it.
countries accept his teachers?
They accepted his teachings because they were all hippies who were, as in, they were people who were like drinking, smoking, into drugs. They were all those kind of set of people whom he met initially when he reached there. So those people have no way to go. They are not in their senses. They are in their tamogun. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're saying. So Prabhupada started preaching such people. Then slowly they got converted. They started becoming his devotees. They started accepting because anyways they had nothing to do. They had no goal in mind to say, okay, I have to work. I have to earn money. There was no goal at all. They had it all. So they started accepting him. And slowly, one by one, people started becoming his devotees and they started accepting whatever whatever Prabhupada's preaching was about Krishna. So that's how they started becoming devotees of Krishna. Because his main intention was about Krishna, not about Prabhupada. Prabhupada was not advertising himself. He was advertising Krishna's teachings, right? And he never told anyone, you have to do this, otherwise this will happen. If you don't do this, that will happen. He never said anything like that. He never forced anybody to do anything at all. So whoever came and became devotees of Krishna were all on their own. Willingly they did that. Right?
Mommy,
Yes,
this
Akshita.
ma'am. Hare Krishna, ma'am.
Hare Krishna. Akshita, yes, speak. What happened? What is the problem? Yes, Akshita, speak.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes. Yes, speak,
Am
Akshita.
I in the last class in Jagannath's Radhayatra class? I heard that he introduced the Jagannath Radhayatra in the New York City.
Yes.
First time out of India. It was not
Yes.
covered in the video.
What did you say at the end? What was the last sentence? Did you say something about the video, Akshita? What did you say last? I did not hear that.
It was not covered in the video, which was shown now.
Video was played only for 40 minutes. The video is still left. You can watch it on YouTube later. Okay. So the remaining video, you can watch it on YouTube later and you can see what all is mentioned in the remaining 15 minutes. I think 15 to 20 minutes are left of the video still. Okay. Because we're short of time. That's why only a bit of it was played here. Datvik, you still have a question? Yes? Okay.
Ma'am, where he established his first mission of Hare Krishna monument.
He went to Boston. Then there was a second avenue there in New York. So that's where was the first temple that was made. So that's where the deities were installed and that's where the whole thing started there. Okay. Any other questions? So we all should get inspired from Prabhupada, right? At such a later stage, he was so old, he was not well, he faced so many health issues. Still, he continued, right, with his mission. So we should all be inspired by him to say that yes, even I should go forward with my spiritual life. I should not leave it behind at any time. No matter who says what, we have started here, we should continue. Now, see how many of them are left in the class? It's only 4 of you who have attended at the end of it, right? And when we started, how many were there? There were much more than that. So the remaining people have left, but then 4 of you still continue. So you need to continue with your spiritual life. Don't leave it in between. Okay?
Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Atharva. Hare Krishna. I cannot see you. I cannot hear you. You have put yourself on mute. Yeah, speak. Atharva, speak. Don't fidget. Don't fidget there. I have unmuted. Yes, speak.
I have no question. I just wanted to tell you Hare Krishna.
Right, Hare Krishna. It's nice. Atharva also is attending these classes. He's so tiny in the class, right? Among the whole batch here. Yeah, that is nice. So let's all continue like this. Yeah, all of you unmute yourself. We'll say the Hare Krishna Mahamantra once, and then we will end the session because it's already time, right? Okay, let's chant. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama Rama,
Rama Rama,
Hare Hare.
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama
Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna.
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama.
Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama, Hare
Hare.
Hare. Jai Shri Krishna,
Hare
Hare Rama.
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
Rama,
Rama.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Very nice, very nice. So all 4 of you who are there in this session here today, don't leave this in between and continue your spiritual journey like this only. Okay? So continue. All the best to everybody. Let's end the
Share the
session
video
now.
in the group.
Make sure you finish all your whatever
Ma'am, please share
assignments you
this.
have. What did you say, Akshita?
Ma'am, will you share this video in the group?
I think the coordinator ma'am will share the video. Yes, Mayan?
Mom, from day after tomorrow is my exams.
Oh, so all the best for your exams. Krishna bless you with good marks. Yes? All right. Let's end the session. Hare Krishna. Finish all your remaining tasks. Okay?
I want to
All
tell you,
right.
ma'am,
Yes, beta.
do you know I am the smallest kid in my school? I am the
Wow.
kid
Very
in my
nice. But you're the most intelligent, right? So keep up to the good work. Hare Krishna. Chalo, see you next week, okay? All right. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.